This is the AAPL 1-month overview reading for the month of December 2024. It's currently November 10th, 2024, 9:27 p.m. Eastern Time. Apple at the time of this reading is $226.96. That's USD. The shuffle video for the December reading was created on October 15th, 2024 at 2:43 p.m. Eastern Time. In this video, we're going to go over the overall trend direction for the month of December. We're going to give you chart behavior to look for when looking to determine the month's highest high and the month's lowest low. We're going to give you the day-by-day sequence of events as far as chart behavior throughout the month of December. Then we'll review, see how we did before coming back and giving you one of the best trades that we see for the month of December. So stay tuned for that trade at the end. For the timing of the highest high and the lowest low, as well as all of the best trades that we see for the month of December, you're going to want to get the full version of this video, which you find in our monthly access subscription on our website, Tarot for Traders. I'll show you how to get that at the end of the video.
If you're lucky enough to be watching this video before Black Friday, the Black Friday deals are already running. You don't have to wait till Black Friday. These are the best deals we've ever offered by a landslide, my friends. Everything's cut in half or more, just about. The Black Friday deal ends on Cyber Monday.
Prudence card in the theme correlator position makes for a very tricky kind of determination as far as bullish or bearish throughout the month. It may very well be that it's back and forth with a lot of sideways rotation or consolidation. It's crossed with what's either a pop and drop or could have something to do with Congress, like legislation or something along those lines. It's either a pop and drop or something along those lines. Either way, I'll look into the timing of when that's really highlighted in the month of December as we progress through this. Behavior around the highest side, the truce card indicating an important technical price level on a multi-day scale, probably a one-year chart scale, in which we rally into that resistance level, and then usually not too shortly after that you'll turn around and you'll decline pretty notably out of that resistance, usually more so to the downside. So if the truce card was the only card to go with, then the whole reading would be bearish basically by the end. We go up and then down further than where we started. That's the kind of behavior we should see around the high. Behavior around the lowest low, there should be a breakout on a multi-day scale based on the victory card, a breakout on a multi-day scale out of the low. So look out for that. Significant move higher on a multi-day scale with a breakout. On the second, it looks like we have a trough midday on the second, and there's a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through a diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down taking place there on the second. A rally out of the trough on the second into a peak somewhere on the third, a sideways fluctuating rally, and that precedes a notable decline. Well, another move, just like I saw on the S&P, there's a move to the upside through key resistance on a multi-day scale taking place here on the third, followed by briefly thereafter a decline back down through that same price level shortly thereafter. And then it looks like there's another trough at the end of the day, so that rally on the third probably turns over before the end of the day on the fourth. Bearish price swings and or a sharp drop on the fourth, an important trough on a 1-month scale minimum on the fifth. On the sixth, we have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. There should also be 2 local highs and 1 local low on the sixth. What do I mean by local high and local low? On a one-day chart of the sixth, you should see 2 troughs or 2 lows, or excuse me, 2 highs or 2 peaks, and you should see 1 trough or 1 low on a one-day chart there, but multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. A lot of price change on the ninth indicated by the ace of discs. Usually it's a lot of price change into and or out of an important support level on a multi-day scale, usually a one-year chart scale, where we rotate sideways along that support for a little bit, indicating it. If there is a pop and drop, it's very likely to take place here on the 9th. And if it's not a pop and drop and it's instead it's something to do with Congress, that's very likely to be highlighted there on the 9th. If it has to do with Congress, it obviously has to do with finances somehow, something to do with the finances of Apple maybe, or how it's making money, something along those lines. All right, so we have a fast sudden move higher on the 10th, taking us into an important technical price level on the 11th early in the day, where we'll break through resistance, we stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through that same price level shortly thereafter with a full retracement. We should have a prominent peak and a prominent trough on the 11th on a 1-month scale taking place on the 11th. A sideways fluctuating decline preceding a notable rally taking place on the 12th with a prominent peak on a 1-month scale on the 12th as well. Again, here on the 12th, it's either a pop and drop or we have something to do with Congress highlighted. This might also somehow tie in, whatever it has to do with Congress, it might also tie into like a female ruler of nations, something like that, or either that or something environmental. Hard to say, but that's there on the 12th. There's a prominent peak on a 1-month scale, as well as a sideways fluctuating decline preceding a rally, most likely into that prominent peak. On the 13th, we have a period of volatility and a sharp drop that'll stand out in that period of volatility. On the 16th, looks like we have a peak early in the day with a sharp drop into a trough on the cusp of the 16th, 17th. Again, either a pop and drop taking place on the 17th, or we have Congress, the same situation highlighted again here on the 17th. We should see a decline to and through support. To be another support on a multi-day scale, and then we should rotate sideways along that support there on the 17th. Whether or not there's a pop and drop, we should see that overall type of behavior. The 16th is tricky because there's a prominent peak on a 1-month scale here on the 16th, and there's also a prominent trough and a sharp drop with an opportunity to open up a long position or close it short, it looks like. So I'm going to look at that in a lot more detail when we get into the paid version. This has the possibility to be either a high or a low, so just be very careful of that. Some of the other readings, it's more clear, so if you've got the monthly access subscription, then that'll become clearer to you by watching some of the other videos. And again, I'll show you how to get the monthly access subscription at the end of this video. On the 18th, we have a prominent peak on a 1-month scale with a sharp decline off of it, and then there's a lot of volatility on the 19th with a breakout midday, 1 local low and 1 local high on a 1-day chart for the 19th with a breakout midday. trough early in the day on the 20th. So we likely open lower on the 20th. Hard to say for sure, but there's a trough early in the day on the 20th. And it's a mixed behavior throughout the day on the 20th where we have a sideways S formation within a channel. So we should decline from resistance, meet support, reverse, retrace all the way back to that original resistance, and then reverse and retrace all the way back to the support, creating like a sideways S formation within a channel. And there might also be a significant move to the downside right at the end of the day. All right, so if we end up at lowest low price levels, which I'm not sure if we're going to do that here on the 20th, but if we do at the end of the day here, then there's going to be a big move to the upside out of there. Either way, there's a big move at the end of the day, most likely to the downside, unless this is a lowest low, and then it would be to the upside. There's a technical price level on a 1-year chart scale highlighted on the 23rd. It's really important, and there's an important peak on a 1-month scale, probably just before noontime on the 23rd. We attempt to establish support on the 24th during that half day, and there's a unicursal hexagram. We attempt to establish support on the multi-day support on the 24th. We attempt to establish multi-day support on the 24th, and it looks like it doesn't hold because we've got this unicursal overlapping it. And remember, this is a half day. There's more decline on the 26th, and this is also where I'm advised to be cautious. This is the only place on the timeline that correlates strongly to the prudence card. So be very, very cautious here on the 26th, because we're going to decline and revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity on a multi-day scale. There should also be some really tricky chart behavior, like a whipsaw action or back and forth behavior, something along those lines that might end up making us do the wrong thing if we're not careful. So just be very mindful of that. There's a new high after making lows on the 26th. There's a new high on the 27th. And it's probably early in the day because I'm seeing a decline off of a peak on the 27th. I'm advised not to chase the decline there on the 26th or the 27th, or even, actually, I'm advised not to chase the decline either at the end of the day on the 27th or the beginning of the day on the 30th. On the 30th, out of a decline, there's a big move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. And then we go into erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level on the 31st, and most likely revisiting a crest on a multi-day scale there that was recently a past opportunity. The sneak preview for January 2025, there's an important multi-day trade opportunity. When you see the full card, it means optimum trade opportunity. Like, it'll stand out amongst other trade opportunities 2025 very likely. So we'll look at that in more detail in the January reading and in the 2025 reading, both of which you most likely will be able to see. So this is going to come out probably a week before the 2025 reading and a few weeks before the January reading, but we're going to put the links in the description when they do come out. So check out those things, guys. Now I'm going to give you one of the best trades that I see for the month of December. But before we do that, now that it's December, let's take a look and see how the 2024 1-year reading is doing thus far. I did it so long ago. There's bound to be some mistakes. We've gotten substantially better, but even so, it's a good practice to review your accuracy and see how you've done. All right, so we had a highest high thus far in January, and you can see how that took place. It was a highest high thus far, taking us into a low in March, a lowest low for the year in March, followed by a highest high in April, May. Looks like it ended up being June, July. Missed that. It's there. That was human error. But then we have another highest high in October, and boom, you can see right there, highest high in October. Based on what I'm seeing here, I most likely in the prediction for 2024 missed this highest high here in towards the end of November, and possibly another one in December. So chances are that this lowest low isn't all the way down here, but it's somewhere, it's like a sharp drop like this. But overall, pretty solid. I think I missed one lowest low and missed one highest high, but it's actually higher here, so it's not technically a miss. It's just really, I wish I had seen more of a peak there. Either way, really solid. As far as some of these trades, guys, so early in January, you would open up a short position. That would have done really well early in January. Likely you open up a long position in the midst of the decline, being that we have this move back to the top of a range. Either way, we have another like highest high thus far there, almost in early February. A trade opportunity for the low. So if you open up a short at the beginning of January, a trade opportunity to close that short in early February. And you can see that came to fruition really solidly. Lowest low in March. Could open up a long position there in March. You might have got scared out in April. There's a trough there in April. But either way, there would have been a big move back to a highest high or close the end of May and into June. Look at that, guys. Look at that move. Boom, right? Back to highest highs. So these trades would have been solid. And if you're wondering, the Apple 2024 1-year reading was created on June 27, 2023, 7:19 p.m. Eastern time. That's well over a year ago, guys. Still with really, really reliable accuracy. I'm going to show you how to get access to the paid version of the 1-year for the 2025 Apple reading, as well as a bunch of other ones. But before I do that, let's give you that trade I was talking about. All right, guys, so the best way to trade this information is always going to be to follow the live Discord trade alerts and live updated trading view charts. But if you don't have access to that, you can attempt to do this. I'm going to give you the entry for this trade, which is going to be on the 9th, with an exit on the 11th and a backup exit if that doesn't work. But I want to give you the chart behavior leading into the entry on the 9th. And if that chart behavior does not transpire as expected, then do not enter the trade. It means that it's one of the trades that didn't work out. It happens occasionally. Most of the time, these are solid. All right, so the entry is on the 9th. The exit is on the 11th. So on the 6th, we should see multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. And then on the 9th, there's the possibility of a lowest low there thus far. It's a little iffy. So if we see a lowest low while rotating sideways along support there on the 9th, I would say that's an opportunity to open a partial long position. If we don't see it there, then don't enter into the long position there. On the 11th, you'll likely be able to close out of the long position early in the day. And it may even be like it'll be a prominent peak early in the day there on the 11th. If I'm wrong about being able to exit the long there, then most likely there's a lowest low there on the 11th. And in that case, you would add to or create a full long position, and you would close the long position on the 16th in that case. If not the 16th, you would close it on the 19th. If not the 19th, I would close it on the 23rd. I would not wait longer than the 23rd, and I would take the first exit. Always take the first exit. Take your profits and reposition for another trade. With that said, if you want the timing of the highest highs, the lowest lows, as well as all of the best trades that we see, what you need is the monthly access subscription on our website, Tarot for Traders. The way that you get that, you go to our website, Tarot for Traders, hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. Monthly access subscription gives you the live Discord trade alerts and live updated trading view charts where I actually draw entry and exits for these trades. For all of the following tickers, the S&P, as well as Apple, Amazon, Bitcoin, Gold, Google, Meta, Nvidia, Oil, SHIB, Sol, Theta, Tesla, VIX, and XRP. Now, if you want the 1 year, the 2025 1 year, you can order that under custom readings as a one-off 1 year report. If it's not up yet, then you would order it here. If it is up yet, then you would order it here. Either way, that's where you get access to just that. But if you wanted access to all of the 2025 readings, that's our premier subscription. Hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions, and subscribe for total access. Currently $500 a month, but there will be a Black Friday sale for total access. Most likely, this is going to be $373 a month, and that'll be like lifetime until canceled, basically. So look out for that deal if you're wanting total access. That's a great time to pull the trigger on it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. Blessings to all my angel investors. I'll see you guys on the next one.